Hello, we're starting, and I didn't realize. Welcome to Two Tunes Podcast.
Hi, I'm Bo.
I'm Brandon.
And we're in a hurry.
Sure. You're in a hurry.
I'm in a hurry.
I
I'm
got
sorry.
all the time in the world.
Well, I guess we got 2
until
hours.
about like 6 o'clock. Covers episode.
Covers episode 3.
We're I don't know, originally sort of said, we'll do one of these like every 10, and we didn't quite, but that's okay.
We totally forgot about this last one.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
Until we're
it's
like,
just,
oh, wait, that was 30?
Our thing was just like, there's a bajillion covers, and so we should just do one every so often.
Yeah.
So, I love covers, man.
Covers are cool.
Yeah, this one, so my tune, which we'll get to in a bit here, is actually falls under the category of songs I like cover versions of better than the original.
Okay, I disagree with you, but cool.
I'm just saying, just for me. Like,
no, there are.
I don't not like the original, but
sometimes there are.
The version I'm playing and then another version are, to me, better.
Yeah.
I just like them better.
I totally understand and agree, not on this, but other ones.
So just because this might be somebody's first podcast, what do we do here, Bo?
We bring 20 tunes to the table.
You bring 1,000 tunes to the
I don't.
table.
The computer's far away from me today, so I can't just look stuff up.
Good.
I forgot my laptop, so I'm using another computer that's
at least
8
feet away, maybe?
It's probably 8. I know it's over 6 because
it's like 6 from the end of the desk, but your desk is huge. So.
It's not. It's like 2 feet. That's huge.
That's 8 feet.
I do know that it's more than 6 feet because I did measure it.
Because you stretched out.
No, I had a measuring tape, and I'm like, here, grab this, student.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 6 feet away from you. We're good.
Oh, cool.
But they're not 6 feet away from me. They're like 4 feet. Anyways.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, we talk about music, 2 musics to be precise, although probably 4 today.
This will be 4 because it's the covers thing. So we talk about,
thing.
And we just kind of breeze through the original a little bit, which, with the original of both songs, I'm like, oh, didn't know that. So this is kind of also saying, hey, those albums that you love, go back and listen, like that you loved when you were 12. Listen to them again, but listen to them more critically. Not just like, this is my jam, but like listen and be like, oh, the guitar's on the right here. That's weird. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, there's a cello over. I mean, there was a cello here, but not your song, but my song. So yeah, what are we doing?
Cool. So my tune is "Love Will Tear Us Apart."
Love will tear us apart.
Yeah, originally by Joy Division.
Kind of. Well, yes.
Yes.
100%
originally by Joy Division.
Well, it was post. What's the word after the person dies? It's released.
Posthumous.
Yeah. Posthumous. It was released posthumous. Ian Curtis.
Posthumously. Ian MacKaye?
No, MacKaye.
No, MacKaye's from Minor Threat.
Minor Threat. This is Ian Curtis.
Ian Curtis, yeah.
His death before the band then formed into past listener or past.
Did they become New Order?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think I realized
like the
that.
exact same band.
I mean, it makes sense.
This record is called like Joy Division to New Order, or at least the one that I'm pulling it from.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Which, hold on a second.
Yeah. Are we going to listen a little bit to it?
Well, yeah, but I'm just looking. So, like, the album here is total from Joy Division to New Order. So here's...
I feel like that's a compilation thing.
Oh, probably is. Because this was a single. This just came out as a single.
Oh, okay.
From my little tiny research. So here's the intro that doesn't... I'm like, what song is this? It's going to play.
It's from the album Joy Division.
Is it going to play? It's not going to play.
Or no, it's... yeah, it is a single, I guess.
There we go. Now I'm like, it's The Who.
Yeah.
Jangly guitars. And I'm like, this is the 70s or the 60s. And then, oh no, this is the 80s. What movie is this from?
I don't know, like a lot of them.
Yeah, but like what movie am I thinking of? Is it Stranger Things that I'm thinking of?
Probably
like I can just
Things.
Imagine somebody riding on a bicycle.
Let me pull up
through the woods.
IMDb.
I think that it's either from that or it might be like Donnie Darko or
almost certainly
some actual
What's the one
80s
that's
film?
actually like featured in? Is it Notorious? That's featured in Donnie Darko. Notorious.
I don't know.
And anytime I have something that fits that rhyme scheme, I sing it.
Okay. So anyways, we're back to Listen to that bass. So hollow.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is in a... Like, I can just imagine Jason Mewes as Jay, like, where he's, like, dancing, like, the way that he dances when he's trying to, like, pretend that he's Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Doesn't IMDb have a thing where you can search music?
No.
Because all this is telling me is, like...
You gotta, like, search Ian Curtis, and then...
Or Joy Division.
Or Joy Division. It's probably, like, the actual person's name.
There's
Anyways.
like a million. There's movies called Joy Division. I just want to know.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find out in the amount of time that you have. So
No,
everybody
not
should
at
know
all.
this of our listeners at home that are over the age of 30.
I don't know anything that takes place in the 80s. Probably it's
Yeah, I mean, this is
featured at some
classic
point.
80s song, but I'm like wondering like what it's from something.
Yeah,
Like I think it's from Stranger Things. That's I think where it is.
almost certainly.
Which is not necessarily like that's the 80s.
Have I told you about my thing or mentioned it on the pod? I don't know about when you watch Stranger Things with the subtitles on, and all
it's
the
like
music cues are
87.
like
Yeah, you have.
insert
It's in parentheses and it just says like synth music.
ominous synth music, upbeat synth music, scary synth music.
Yes, you have mentioned that before. So that's like the original.
Yeah.
And it's that the entire time.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
It's interesting because it's so upbeat and poppy, and then this is not an upbeat song. at
no,
all.
because it's pretty much about the breakup, or not the breakup, but like the disillusion of
of a relationship
of him and his wife. That he didn't cheat on, but like he was hanging around with another girl.
Mm.
So that's what kind of it's about. And then apparently Love Will Tear Us Apart is written on his tombstone,
Oh, I mean,
I think, which is like, that's weird.
yeah.
And then I'm thinking like,
Probably
we should,
their most famous song, if not one of.
yeah, definitely. And then I was thinking there's another song called Love Will Keep Us Together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm like, I should have chose that song and chose a cover of that song and be like, we're opposites.
That's one of those tunes that like.
Level-
It's pretty good.
Love Will Keep Us Together.
Yeah, is that like Captain Tennille or something?
I have no idea. I just know it
almost-
exists.
But it's like
Love
it's like sneaky
will keep
good.
us I don't even know. I have no clue, and I
gotta
can't
look
look
it
it up
I'm
because
looking it up.
I don't have a computer. I mean, I do, but it's recording us, and I'm trying to make sure that it does its job, and we don't delete half
Captain
the
and
episode.
Tennille.
Captain and Tennille, not Captain and Tennille.
Captain and Tennille.
I always thought it was Antonil,
No,
like Captain Antonil.
no.
Which will come into when we do my song, which everyone already knows. So maybe, anyways, they know it.
Sure.
So what am I doing now?
I guess we can listen to the cover version, which is by Susanna and the Magical Orchestra.
So on my version, it says Susanna and the Magical Orchestra and Susanna. And I'm
That's
like,
funny. Well, so she's her. Let me find her.
like it's her,
It is.
but she also has another group called Susanna and the Magical Orchestra, right?
No.
Like, is it her and the Magical Orchestra, or
Okay.
is it?
No. The group is called Susanna and the Magical
Yeah.
Orchestra.
Yeah.
Which is her and another guy. That's
Yeah.
it. The guy,
Yeah.
Morten Kvenild.
I know nothing about this.
He's the keyboard player, which is the Magical Orchestra. And then
It's one person.
Susanna Volumrud, I believe. They are Norwegian. She's the Susanna, but if you look up like other things, like her discography and stuff, she has gone by just Susanna or Susanna probably, and then she's also gone by Susanna Volumrud, like she's gone by her full name. So I think it's listing whatever you found is listing her as the artist, but they shouldn't because I don't know. It's weird. The band is called Susanna and the Magical Orchestra.
Gotcha. All right, let's play
Full
this.
stop.
I should also point out that you had talked about like, oh, the music kind of like poppy and uplifting, and like the lyrics are like really sad and
It is
depressing.
dark as hell.
This is like now more fitting
Yeah.
and about twice as long.
I went through a real sad night in college. Well, I went through several real sad nights in college, but one of them was after I discovered this song. It's okay. And I'm pretty sure I played this like 58 times in a row. Just
Blaring,
sad, like
and
no,
people are like, dude, what's going on with emo boy down the hall?
Just in my apartment, being sad.
rise high, but emotions won't grow.
This is one you have to just sit.
I was just going to say
listen.
that. If you just sit in a dark room, nothing around you, headphones on. If you need a good cry, this is a good one.
This version, not the other one that's like, I'm hopeful. My girlfriend.
It's just so, it's like, it's sparse and simple and like repetitive, but it just, I don't know, it works so well to me. I really like her voice, the keyboard sounds and stuff, which, by the way, that's something I didn't realize that our tunes were going to have in common. Of
Yeah.
That's Rhodes, essentially electronic keyboard, whatever you want, whatever settings and stuff. Yeah.
The Logic default piano.
The thing I like about this, whether it's Rhodes or not or whatever, but those electronic keyboards or electronic piano sounds where you can get different sounds depending on the way you attack.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of muted or it can be more stung a little bit, and he does that depending on the certain chords and certain things he leans into a little bit more.
Is my timing that flow?
This also makes you listen to the lyrics more because like it's so nothing. There's like where the previous one is like oh, and then it's like this is cool.
There's
Oh,
synth and
love
there's drums
can
and there's
keep,
this,
or you know, love. Well, it's not love can keep us together. It's love will tear us apart. And this one is like let me really drill in the lyrics. And I know that I'm talking over top of them, but it feels weird if we just sit and listen.
Yeah. The music to this is pretty simple too. I mean, which I'm assuming is the same chords that Joy Division did, but it's just like it's just an E minor, and it just like the way he plays it, he arpeggiates up the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 chord. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And there's like some suspensions and some different stuff, but and then a little synthy
What is
solo. I mean,
well, that's totally synth, but I think
keyboard.
could be played on like an Iwi.
I think he's just a keyboardist.
Okay. But isn't there like a flute type sound? Like doesn't this turn into a flute kind of? It's not a real flute like that. Like when it gets up there.
Yeah, I don't know what setting
it starts to feel.
But it's also run through like some distortion.
Yeah.
So I recorded this actually when I was in college in Iowa, just as like I think it's like a solo project thing that I did. Can you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
So I can't think.
And listen to an awesome keyboard solo.
I actually took a technique that I learned that Christina Aguilera did when she was recording. I can't remember which song. It might have been Beautiful, but I don't remember. It was one.
So that's really Linda Perry.
Sure, probably.
Linda Perry wrote that song.
Okay. But I don't know if it's actually that song.
If it's that song.
It just was a song that was like, so Christina Aguilera's thing was like whatever song she was singing is like, it was like a heartbreaking song and it was like a difficult one to get through, and she wanted it to sound strained in a way. And so what she did is she laid down on the ground and like on her back and just recorded it that way. And so when I recorded this myself, I did a similar thing, which is a pain in the butt because I was my own producer and engineer. So I was like reaching up like from underneath the desk to like randomly hit the button to start the thing.
Yeah, that is.
But I played the keyboard part and stuff too. And I think I don't remember, the way I did this solo was I just like sang like a wordless vocal solo and then like processed the hell out of it. And I definitely remember I used a flanger just because I wanted that effect.
Cool.
But
that is the song. It is perfect.
Beautiful,
not perfect. Beautiful.
Is that the right anecdote?
Yeah, it is. Song? Yeah, the what you just said, and but in my recollection, it wasn't like Christina's idea of it. It was
maybe
Linda
not.
Perry's.
I just know that
Linda Perry is an amazing producer, and she produced Christina, and then moved on to Pink, and then Christina got mad, or maybe it was Pink first, and then. I forget. One of them like didn't like that the other one was doing because it's like, you're writing for other people. It's like, yeah, it's called a business.
Yeah,
you're not exclusive.
Anyway, we can go back into the song.
Do you cry out in your sleep?
I realized too. I think I did know this years ago, but in doing some research, the guy who's the Magical Orchestra, he was a part, or maybe still is a part of the group called Jaga Jazzist, which is like a Norwegian, Swedish, mostly Norwegian, I think. I don't even know what to classify them as. They have the word jazz in their name, but like,
Does that mean what it means?
what?
No,
Jazzist?
like when you said, "Oh, they might be jazz." They have jazz in the name.
Yeah, but it's like,
that
but
doesn't
it's like that's definitely one of the influences of that group. But they have so many others. They're interesting. I'll definitely play them on here. But it's like, oh yeah, he's also in that group. It's kind of cool.
Yep. I think that this version's too long. Like it's 4 minutes, where like the original is
Yeah.
like 2.5.
I mean, how long's that solo? 45 seconds or so, probably.
Yeah. I mean, this song. Sorry, I'm like down. I'm shitting on this song, and like I think it's a good song. It's just not for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like
I've been in a place the last week or so this is perfect for me right now.
yeah. I mean, some music is great at different times, and I'm going to explain.
I haven't
things
probably
later.
listened to this in at least 10 years, if not more.
Okay.
And in the last week, I've been listening to it a bunch
Is that where it ends?
because I just needed it. Yeah,
So
it just kind of
hangs on?
hangs out because it stops. Because like I said, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chord, and it just like stops on the 5 chord, which is interesting. But yeah, it's one of those songs. Like again, I think it's beautiful to listen to. Like you said, like it's one you really got to sit and listen to. And if you're in the right frame of mind, it's a good one for it.
So I wanted to that kind of led. It's like right now I'm not in the mood for this song,
Good.
but like
I'm glad for you.
it's a great song.
I hope
right?
none of you are in the mood for this song. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It's a great song, and like you kind of have to be in the mood for it. Or I also want to kind of discuss like the evolution of artists, right? And like some people follow along, and like we track along with that artist. So like when Thrice was going through their like every album they would change. And I was right along with him, and like, oh, that's cool. I like what they did. I like how they changed. And then there's bands that don't change, and it's like, and that's like for me, it's like a Rise Against. And like I'm not that guy who's like they're the same band every time. Like you just like you know what to expect.
Yeah,
you know what to expect. I want surprises in my music. So Billie Eilish came out with a new record, and I listened to it all the way through. I don't like it. But it's completely different, but it's just not my thing. I mean, there are good moments in it, but it's still kind of like the same thing of like it's super subdued, it's super quiet and slow.
I actually was thinking of you because I also listened to it. I think the day it came out or the day after it came out. I can't remember. I had some driving to do and
listened
stuff,
to
and I was
Tuesday.
like just gonna drop it, just
Yeah.
put it on and listen to the whole thing. And I do really like it. I don't think I actually listened to her first album. At all. I've listened to singles and stuff, obviously, but I don't think I ever
there's
sat
more
down and like reckoned with that album.
There's more electronics and more like bass and drum, like pop or not pop, but like hip hop beats in the first one.
Okay,
and then this is more vocal. I'm going to say vocal jazz, kind of.
It's not vocal jazz. Vocal driven? Do you mean like
it's vocal driven, but also like the music behind it is very, very. I mean, maybe I wasn't listening to it loud enough. Might be another thing. I was listening to it at like what I thought was a reasonable volume, and I'm like, it needs to get louder. It needs to like, but I didn't want to turn it up. I didn't want to be like me affecting how it came across.
Okay.
And the first song that was like, I'm like, oh, this is good, was the title track, which is the second to last song on the record. And the first song on that record. I've heard it before. I'd never heard it before, but I heard it before. Like that chord progression.
Okay.
It's something else. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's something I've heard before.
Okay.
So if you know what it is, people at home, you can join us on the Discord.
Yeah.
The link is in the show notes, description, whatever.
So what I was thinking
explain to
about
me.
when I was listening to it.
Yep.
With you in mind.
Yeah. You're like, Bo would hate this.
No, well, no, I didn't. I wasn't sure about that. But you have often questioned about, well, like when we listen to certain female singers or any singers or whatever, you're
making
like,
me sound like a bigot.
No, but you've been like, could Billie Eilish do that? Could she, could she belt like that? Could she sing that?
Like,
here's my question to you though. Why does she need to?
She doesn't.
Why can't
she's great at what that thing is?
Yeah.
And that's great. And that's the thing that I'm trying to get at is
you
like,
want her to be something different.
Yes, I guess.
She wrote a song about that, Bo. I'm going to play it for you.
She did, but I don't want. But not like different in like
No.
I want her to push her vocal, and I know she can do it because if you watch her videos when she was younger, she can belt. But it's just like I just like being this really, really like. But that's not even the way that she talks normally. Like the way that she sings, you feel like she's just like, oh hey guys, how you doing?
I think you're.
But she's not that person.
I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
I'm reading into the lyrics and how she performs. Not the lyrics, definitely not the lyrics, but her like, it's very soft and crooner-esque, as I've said many times before about talking about her and her.
I don't know if it's as soft as you think.
Like I said, I think that I needed to turn it up.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that, and I wasn't listening at a low volume.
And you can't listen.
I am old. No, it's not that I could. It's like that I'm old and I can't hear right. So that, by the way, that song was pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet. It didn't really push the one we just listened to.
The one we just
as far as compared to the original. Like I'm looking at the waveform, and the waveform for the Susanna,
probably
and,
Susanna, but yeah,
Susanna and
we're
the,
Americans.
and the Magical Fruit
Orchestra,
or Magical Orchestra. There's a lot more dynamic range to that song versus the Joy Division version of it.
So if folks want to check out more of Susanna and the Magical Orchestra, they do have a bunch of covers. That's kind of what they're most known for.
I think this album, I mean, like
I think it's
at least
all covers.
I just looked and I knew that the first two were. Like one was an AC/DC song.
Yeah, Long Way from the Top.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I didn't listen to it all, but I started listening to it. What was the first track?
Is it Hallelujah?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So they do Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Then it's A Long Way from the Top. There's a Prince song, a Kiss song, Bob Dylan, Depeche Mode, and then some other people that I don't know. Matt Burt, I don't know who that is. Scott Walker, I don't know who that is. And Sandy Denny, I don't know who that is. Oh, they're all British songwriters and stuff. But yeah, they're mostly covers and stuff. And then I'm also realizing I think I found out about them through Grey's Anatomy. They were featured in an early season episode.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I highly recommend checking them out. I mean, that's, again, I don't think I've listened past this album, maybe a couple other singles, but you know, it's going to be fairly similar. It's keyboards and singer, but yeah. Bo's just on his phone, not paying attention.
No, I am paying attention to you, but I was also like waiting to like chime in and then be like, and we'll be back after these messages from nobody.
Cool. Oh, I do want to say my other favorite cover of this song is by Fall Out Boy, and it's an acoustic version.
Okay.
It sticks much more closely to the original as far as like the upbeat and whatever. But it's all acoustic. It's off of they did like
drums at all.
I don't remember.
I could hear like just
maybe like brushes.
Like I could hear running on the hi-hat like
no, it's not that. But it's off of like a B-sides and B-sides and acoustic EP that they put out. Maybe after From Under the Cork Tree. I can't remember. Right before. I don't remember. Okay. So cool. Check it out. But those are my two favorite versions of the song. The Joy Division one is not one of my favorites. I'm glad the song exists.
Well, I mean, it's like Hallelujah. The original is not that great. And
yeah,
there's
it has
a million
its
great.
Well, because Leonard Cohen's more of a
poet.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back.
Word.
And we're back from Nowhere Land.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now your song.
And now my song.
Similar to my song, at least in
not the
first
original
half.
Yeah. So my song is, you know what? I don't know anything about. I know.
I have questions.
I know nothing.
So can I just, while you're looking things up?
Well, I do know a little bit, but it's like not.
So my first thing is, I don't think that I knew that this was the name of this song.
All apologies.
Because when you sent me that, when we text each other like a link to Spotify, because that's what I use. And
yeah, I work in his favor. He could just send me the name and the artist,
and it just said, I send you the link.
But I don't have a Spotify. I have to copy it and put it into Apple Music. Boo-hoo. Just send me the name and the artist.
Okay.
Or the song and the artist.
Anyway, so so it just pops up as like an album cover and like a song title. And when I saw All Apologies, I was like, oh, I don't think I know what this is. And then as soon as it opened and I saw that the second track was Rape Me, and the name of the group is Heart Shaped Tracks, is that correct? Without me looking, I believe.
That's just keep going.
Okay.
I'll
But anyway,
explain
then
this.
I was like, oh, obviously this is a Nirvana song. But then I still couldn't
So I
think of what it was based on just the title.
Because I don't have Spotify, I didn't send you the album. There's an album. It's the whole album.
Is all Nirvana songs.
It's all Nirvana. It's that album. It's in utero covered.
Oh, okay.
But I just sent you like the single.
Fair enough.
There were 2 singles from this, but even though like each single had 2 songs on it.
All right. Okay.
So it's not the album. It's
Gotcha.
So-
But anyway, point being, I know the song.
yeah.
Well, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, yeah, the song. But I was like, I don't think I ever knew that was the name of that song.
I think I sent this to you like years ago because I'm like, you should figure this out.
Maybe.
I did.
Then I didn't listen to it. I'm
So
sorry, but
this is an album. The album is called Heart Shaped Tracks,
okay.
and it is a soulful tribute to Nirvana. And it is.
This is also listed as the artist.
Yes, I know, because there's not an artist, but like your artist isn't really, for a later episode, isn't like Shrek. So
Spoilers.
yeah. Anyways, so this is I guess it's like a record label who decided, hey, we're gonna do a tribute album to Nirvana, and we're just gonna get like people to do.
So it's similar to that one that we did, that you did, Crayon Angels or something. Is that the name?
Yes,
of it? By Judy something.
Judy Still.
Judy Still.
It was a tribute to her.
Right, but it was like,
But it was one guy, it was one producer who wanted to do this. This is like a record label.
Okay,
So and
I'm just so like the way it's listed, it says Heart Shaped Tracks again as the artist, but then this person or these people. And
yeah,
whatever.
it's all like the song featuring this person, the song featuring this
so
person.
Is it, or do you not know? Is it?
I know
those
everybody.
People. Is it solely their version of it?
That I don't know.
That's the thing I'm questioning. Like, is it like that the Judy Still thing where it was like
One person's voice.
no, like one producer guy, but then bringing in other people. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I think it was one producer guy, but it's more.
But these people had more input, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
So Rodrigo Lemaz, I think this is a record label. Actually, I have no idea where this is, but the record, I can't even pronounce it. It's Mezcla Viva Records.
Mezcla Viva.
Mezcla Viva. Mezcla.
Is there an L in there?
There's an L. I said
Mezcal?
CLA.
Oh, CLA. Mezcla Viva, I guess. Yeah.
Mezcla Viva Records. And then there's like a little story like, when I decided to pay homage through this, I could not think that so many characters in the current music scene, young or not quite as myself, also had a very personal link to what Nirvana's music stood for at this time and still does.
Okay.
Sadly, the landscape of human relations didn't change so much since Kurt left us. His absence is actually pure. It kind of just goes into him explaining like what he was doing. It doesn't really explain why.
And this is 2018, by the way, for those listening.
Yeah. So, and then throughout the album, you'll find features such as, and then it just lists a whole bunch of people. So this is Letrux, Letrux. So maybe it's a French label.
Or
I don't know.
Letrux, I don't know.
But then it's like here, there's 12 songs. It's every song is whatever, like Serve the Servants featuring these people. And
I don't know
Apprentice,
any of these people.
Oh yeah, I don't either. But it's like, I think the guy, that Rodrigo Lemans is the person who kind of put it all together. Maybe the record label person. But then it says like who played on all these and what they played. So I'm not going to know any of these names.
So Letrux or Letruche maybe is from, they are listed as a film composer from Brazil.
Okay, interesting.
And I can look at their Wikipedia in Portuguese.
That's great.
Or I can translate it. Leticia Pinheiro
And the
Novaes.
Oh my god, I can't pronounce any of this. I'm
Stage
sorry.
name is Letrux. I don't know how you pronounce it. Letrux.
Yeah.
She is singer, songwriter, actress,
Wait,
writer,
is it a she?
instrumentalist, Brazilian. Yeah, she's probably the one who's singing.
I thought it was a guy. Look at me. I don't know anything. Anyways, Rodrigo Lamas He is not. He played guitar on this.
Okay.
Wait, and yeah, no, it's weird. It's like sings on these, and he played guitar on this.
Fair enough.
But then like there's a brass band in it, anyways.
Yeah.
So
turns into like a Beatles song at one point.
It's okay. We'll get to it. But here's the original, or at least part of the original. If you don't know this, who are you?
I mean, I didn't know the title, so.
Which now I wanted to be like, I just want to do this song because like I didn't realize that the guitar is on the right, and then there's like this like on the right or on the left, and then the drums is kind of like takes up the whole stereo field, and he's kind of off to Kurt's off to the right or left a little bit. I don't know my directions. Sorry, kids, 40-year-old kids. But the cello's over there.
I was listening for it. I noticed that one guitar note was like a little out of tune.
Oh yeah,
on the intro, which is cool.
I'm gonna point out some stuff about the original of this. Yeah, there's a second guitar part on the left.
Is this pre?
This is off of the 20th anniversary, so I don't know exactly how, like who mixed it. So when they recorded this, they recorded it with Steve Albini,
right,
who was the producer, and I'm putting air quotes up because Steve Albini does like I just record people, I don't produce. I just, who are you? What do you sound like? Okay, let's get it onto tape.
Yeah.
And when I say tape, I mean he means tape.
Yeah.
Like he's not that guy who's like, well, let's get into Pro Tools. It's like no, it's going to be on tape. Even today, he's like, put it on tape. It's the version that lasts the longest, which is kind of true. But Steve Albini is just like, he doesn't produce, so he's just like, what do you want? And when he mixed it in a certain way, and it's just like, well, this is what I heard in the room. He doesn't take credit. He doesn't take percentage points of sales off that. So like, he got no money besides the money. It was like, you pay me $2,000 to record this. We're good. That's it. No after the fact money, even though he technically deserves it.
Right.
But he doesn't do that.
And could still be raking in.
Yeah.
so
like
money.
us right now playing this. He should
just
get some money, but he doesn't get any.
He could have done just this album.
Well, also on this record is a little bit weird because because they're just like, oh, go record it. It's like, we're going to record with Steve Albini because he record punk records. Like records that sound quote unquote bad. And they wanted it to be raw and like just them and like perfect person for it. But then like when they gave it to DGC, David Geffen Company, they're like, yeah, we don't want these mixes. We're going to have somebody else mix it. So like then so the first version mixed it, and then there's another version of it. And this might be that version that we're listening to. Okay. I don't know off the top of my head if this is the original mix or if this is the Steve Albini mix, which they did for the 20-something anniversary of its release.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
also doesn't really matter because we're talking about a cover.
Yeah, but we're talking about the cover version, which I like this because we're gonna play it now.
Yeah,
it's a different key
to match the singer's voices,
and probably easier to play on a keyboard.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I believe that like the original is in drop D, but a half step down, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe even a full step down. But I like that they have that so that and then they move it up, but it's not like an octave up. It's like now we're going to harmonize it a little bit more.
This also in this recording, you notice a little bit more of the way that the touch sometimes distorts notes and gives like a little different attack, which I think is cool.
And then just a little bit of like a little end to that, just the intro.
Yeah.
It's like, let's slow it down a little bit. And then
retardando.
And come back in.
What else should I be?
Now I'm
I don't love her voice.
All apology.
But Kurt wasn't a good singer either. And she's probably like, this is the last song on this, so like taking all that pain.
Yeah.
Like after the fact and understanding.
It fits for sure. I don't know that I'm intrigued to listen to more of her singing, but it fits.
What else should I write?
I don't know that the ending of the song fits, spoiler alert.
Oh no, not at all.
Don't have to
But that's what I also like about this song, because it grows.
Yeah.
So it's a D chord, just riffing open D, and that's that.
That's a cool little Latin thing for
Yeah.
the Brazilian artist.
So that's the verse. Like the verse is that the little guitar riff that I'm going to say. And then it goes into a chorus, which is A.
In the sun,
Well, no, it's not. This is G.
in the sun,
And then like let's add some spice to this.
Color tones, yeah.
in
Which in
Tensions.
all
I
of this
that
is
word.
like added.
the sun.
Walking it down to an A. I think it's an A. Or maybe that's an A. I don't know. I'm thinking of like the actual guitar.
Sure.
It's like, so it goes from it's 3 chords, the whole song. And that right there, it's like, ooh. Okay. So that's like the first time through.
Yeah.
Which is super soft and like, okay, you could just keep doing this.
It's very similar to the Susanna and the Magical Orchestra
Yes.
thing. And in fact,
So far.
again, as I was listening, I was like, our songs are going to be almost identical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Just like similar takes on things. But just wait, kids.
Just wait.
So the thing you said about the build, I don't totally agree with, because there's a part, everyone will know when it happens, and I'm sure you'll stop and whatever.
Yeah.
The first time it switches out of essentially what we just heard,
Yeah.
to me, came out of nowhere.
Okay.
Later, towards the ending, I feel like it actually builds into something.
Okay.
But to me,
Well, you're
and
jumping
maybe-
ahead. I think
No,
that
I
we
know
should
that,
keep going.
but-
And you should just pause
Okay.
when we do that, because like right here, it's going to change. It's going to get a little bit
It
bigger.
does, and they add drums and
So now we have like drums, but not really in guitar
yeah,
easily
and
harmonies.
some more vocals, yeah. And I think that's perfect. Like it just drops right into that, and it's not too.
Yeah,
I think it makes total sense.
and the singing is less is more.
It's more precise. It's
Yeah.
a little more full voiced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a little throaty, but
I'll take all
Bass line,
I like that.
and it's
and
not
again,
even
just kind of
it's not
pops
really in time. I mean, it is, but it now feels like different. It's a different timing.
Just those little triplet lines.
sunburn, freezer burn,
And then this
choking on the ashes of her
is this what screws you up?
Yes.
in the sun.
That time it didn't hit me as hard. The very first time it was like felt really out of nowhere.
Okay,
I guess it earned it. I guess it got there.
In the sun.
because then it's like, okay, we're gonna.
Now
add
it
some
sounds like
brass
it's
to
off of Sgt. Pepper.
it. Okay.
Not a bad thing, I'm just saying. I don't love this part.
Like the ending, or just this part?
This.
Like that it keeps going.
What's the word? Is it marriage?
It's married and buried.
Okay.
Buried.
It's her pronunciation. It just kind of could have used one less. I'm assuming that's what it does on the song.
That's what
I
it
haven't
does
listened
on
to
the
it in a while, but
Yeah, and the reason that is
yeah.
like it's a Kurt thing to do.
yeah. It's like The Grudge. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes. All right. I'm gonna talk about the lyrics here. Ooh, the stereo of that.
And I like this ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it's like right off of Sgt. Pepper.
Okay.
That's cool.
Those cuts.
Yeah. Stop time.
Yeah.
I like letting the hi-hat cymbal ring.
I don't think I've actually heard this in headphones.
Oh, really?
Like I discovered this in 2018.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like it
that's-
better that time. I think each successive listening,
Yeah.
it I think maybe just knowing that the first time though, that first horn hit and everything, I just was like,
it came out of the blue too.
yeah.
It's like, whoa.
And it didn't even feel like it built up into it. And I know that they drop out right
I don't think
before
that's a build. I think that's a surprise.
It is. But now, like, on successive listenings, now I do feel the build, even though, and then they obviously drop out everything but the vocals or whatever, and then kick it in and whatever. But it feels less, obviously less surprising because I know it's coming.
Yeah.
But it feels more earned, I guess, in the way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there was the build and then the intentional pullback and then the hit. Like it could have also just kept going and then been right into it, but they're like, nah.
Okay.
Surprise them.
I'm going to talk about lyrics for a second.
Cool.
When grunge is notorious for like saying things that don't make sense or like you can't understand them. Yep. Like everything that Eddie Vedder said like in the earlier records is just like and you don't know anything that he's saying. Yeah. So what is the last line that's repeated over and over again?
On and on, something.
Okay, you're wrong.
Yep.
So when I was X years old, I think I was 12 or 13 when this came out. I don't know, math. I thought it was "Oh and no is Zoe-O." I just thought it was nothing at all. I'm like, I don't know what he's saying. Oh and no is Zoe-O. Whatever. So it's all in all is all we all are, which is a mouthful in general. And then so there's I teach guitar and this is in one of the books that I teach because it's a pretty easy song. It's 3 chords. Sure. It's D. There's a riff, and I like teach. And I'm like, hey kids, do you want to learn the real version or do you want to learn the simplified version? And most of them are like, well, let's learn the real one. It's like, okay, first off, it's in drop D. What's that? Okay, cool. We're gonna drop this down to D. Yeah. Drop D, and then I teach the whole thing. And like, there's lyrics, and it goes through, and it's like, so first off, there's a line that's like everyone is gay. Well, it's not in that version. It's like everyone is gone. Oh, and I'm like, okay, Hal Leonard, you changed this because you didn't want to get like, why does this word gay in here? Yeah. And then at the end, it's instead of all in all is all we all are, which is like, okay, it's like all alone is all we all are. And it's like, that's not what he said. Like, why don't you just look at the lyric sheet? It's in the record, and you're Hal Leonard. Do your job right. So, all in all is all we all are.
Interesting.
Or when you're 13, O and O is OEL.
Or when you're 37, on and on, something.
On and on is OEL. Yeah. It's that. So those are our 2 tunes, covers plus edition.
Ones, yeah.
Yeah, plus another cover.
Cool. Where can people find us, Bo? On the interwebs.
On the interwebs, just like anywhere,
or within the interwebs.
Within the interwebs.
On the what do they used to call it?
The information
superhighway. Oh my gosh.
We old. So we have a Discord where you can like talk with the other people who listen to these. Rich doesn't do that, but he'll text me and say things and call me out. But you can do it and in front of people that also listen to this podcast at the Discord, like Christian or who's your friend Beth? Is that it?
Bonnie.
I knew it started with a B.
John's on there now too.
John? I don't know.
Yes.
So there's people over there you can talk to. They're not kids. They're adults. I don't think that we reached the 18 to 25 demographic yet.
That's all right.
Or the 13 to 18.
That's definitely all right.
I mean, it could be. It'd be interesting. Yeah. We'd have to like do a lot of pop songs. Yeah. Be like, hey, here's this new Drake song. Here's this new Justin Bieber. Oh man,
you're really old.
Here's new Ed Sheeran. I don't know who's.
They're not listening to any of those people.
I know.
Anyway,
some people are.
You can also find us on Facebook. So your grandma, who listens to Drake and Justin Bieber, find us on there at 2 Tunes Podcast on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe. Leave us reviews wherever you listen.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Any interaction is super helpful. So
we like to listen to you talk. Cool. We like to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Join it. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.